Hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oprah, me Banshee. And it's me Banshee, here with a special unboxing video for a new deck I received. It came out in 2024, I believe. We'll get into that. It is called the Unveiled Tarot by Jesse Lonergan, graphic artist. This box is just full of graphics, but let me read the back to you first before we go further. It says, pull aside the veil and take a closer look at the tarot you thought you knew. The card images in award-winning artist Jesse Lonergan's Unveiled Tarot are pictures within pictures, emphasizing the multifaceted archetypes that animate all tarot decks. With humor, heart, and style, this 80-card deck, yes, 80 cards, an accompanying guidebook add dimension and depth that allow you, whether a beginner or expert reader, to deepen your practice. It's definitely copyright 2024, and the publisher is Sterling Ethos. So this is it again, and when they talk about picture in a picture, there's things like this on the cards, as you can see here. And we'll talk a little bit more about the artist's vision in a minute. There's a part in the booklet I want to bring to your attention about that. So, but let's open it up. But let's take a look here. You can see that there are just images all over the box, from front to back. And then when you open it up this way, from the bottom, you have that, which is from the Fool. I think you'll recognize it when you see it. All right, well, let's open it up. What am I doing shutting it again? Anyway, so we open it up to find more graphics everywhere. It's awesome. Okay, and it came like this with this nice little cover on top. Well, now let's, for a moment, talk about the elephant in the room here. Here is the booklet. It's very small. So, beginning readers, take note. No, everybody's not alike. Some people can handle differences right away that deviate from the normal ways tarot cards look. Others, might need a little more support there. So depending, I don't want to rule that this isn't for a beginner to get their hands on, but I think definite moderate and advanced users will get the most immediate out of this book. And beginners, I think you'll be fascinated with some of this, especially if you look at what the author says in the book, or the creator, about the cards, and compare it to maybe some of the keywords and things that you're accumulating on your own decks. So needless to say, there are 57 pages in here. It's short, concise. I think a little bit more time could have been spent on the minor arcana, maybe giving a little bit more of the reverse nuance, because it does look like they've integrated upright and reverse meanings in the majors quite well. And in some of these cards, you'll see it pop up. I think it's well done. I am mesmerized by the whole concept of this. And let's talk about that a little bit. Before we start looking at the cards, I want to just point out something in the creator's introduction. And he says, the idea with my cards is to capture that quality of difference and similarity in the tarot, ancient and modern, near and far, upright and reversed. So maybe I need to look at this in a little more depth, and I jumped the gun on some of that with some of the minor cards, but we'll we'll look at some as we go along. All of the cards have two images which come together in some way or another. And the intention is for this juxtaposition to create harmony or dissonance that leads to new ideas that are more than the sum of the constituent parts. And it's really interesting, this deck, because it combines old school tarot look with modern day symbolism or modern day life. So it's really very well constructed in that way. Let's dig into the cards, but first by looking, oops, I have them turned around. You can't have that. Looking at the backs of the cards. Here's what the backs look like. Okay, let's begin. Let's begin with the Fool. And the Fool, and I love the way the author said in the book that the Fool's journey begins with an inauguration. So it's like an inauguration party here, but notice there's a clown and a man underneath, and it does say here there's a difference, you know, in this card. I'm just giving you this example. I'm going to give you a few examples as we go along of how these cards work. It's fascinating. And so, you know, you can either be a fool or a clown, be viewed as a clown. Which would you rather be, you know? The carefree, go-lucky fool, or the clown. Okay, I wasted enough time on that. I really like that Fool card, but let's move on. Here is the, whoops, let's turn them over now. Here is the Magician. The High Priestess. He has an interesting interpretation of this, but I'm not going to get into that. Looks like a rock star or a singer belting it out. The Empress getting her hands dirty there. Oh, doing what she does. Make things grow. Some comment I wanted to make on the Emperor is that, you know, emperors need to be flexible in their rule, in their authority over others. They shouldn't be made of stone. I thought that was very appropriate. The Hierophant. The Lovers. The Chariot. Bit of movement going on there. This was really fascinating to me, and I meant to look this one up, but I did not. It's the Strength card. Healthcare workers. And a scene of some importance. You know, this one I'm going to read to you from the booklet. It's short, and I like it. And, of course, I always look for the Hermit card in the deck because it's my favorite card. It's my personal card. I like that Hermit in the crowd, and it's really interesting. And this will give you a real feel for how the author's handling this deck, the Hermit. There is peace alone on the mountaintop, with nothing to distract you from your contemplation. But you can't live there. Instead, you need to find peace where you can find it. Amid the frenetic bustling of a world that wants you running here and there, distracted from the external by the trivial and ephemeral, it is necessary to make time for self-reflection. Are the moments that tick past meaningful and life-affirming, or are they spent desperately keeping track of schedules, routines, and objectives? If you find yourself feeling out of balance and out of step with the world, take time to firmly plant your feet on the ground. With a simple act of standing still within an ever-moving society, you may begin your journey to knowledge and wisdom. It's very, very nice. I like this Wheel of Fortune image because it shows like all those, you know, archetypal characters in the wheel card observing the roulette wheel and the, you know, and people taking their spin, so to speak. So it's pretty interesting. Justice. The Hanged Man. Should probably get it there, right about there. Death. Temperance. Let's mix those cocktails just right for that perfect celestial brew. The Devil. The Devil is a card I wanted to read because look at that happy family scene, but suddenly they're turning demonic in the image. So it's really interesting to me. And let's take a look at what this author has to say about the Devil. You've mowed the lawn, washed the dishes, and done the laundry, but have you addressed the devil today? The life in the photograph may look happy and perfect, but underneath the surface of our daily routines are our passions and vices. You may have attempted to deny them or hide them away, but they will always rise again. Your sins and weaknesses exist. The devil must be acknowledged and addressed. Refusal to do so will result in your desires manifesting themselves in distorted and corrupted ways. You must look deep inside yourself to identify those repressed urges and recognize whether you are dealing with them in healthy ways or allowing them to manifest in ways that trap you in an imprisoned life. Another nice way that they have put the upright and reversed energies of the devil there. It's really nice. The Tower asks if your tower was made of sand. The Star. The Moon. A little bit scarier scene there. I like the Sun. You're at the top of the world there right now, you know, on the roller coaster like a child, enthusiastic, enjoying your success or your life. I love it. Very nice. Judgment. And the World. All right. Let's move on to the minors. Oh, we have 2 special cards in this deck. That's right. It's an 80-card deck. Not sure I want to read and interpret these to you right now, but they have a purpose. They come at the end of the major arcana and right before the minors, and they are separate. They are, so maybe you could take them out or leave them in as you see fit. One is called the Mob, and notice they are not numbered like major arcana would be. The Puppeteer. Could be very interesting. And I've looked over the interpretations, so, you know, you might want to check those out. But let's move on. We're on the wand suit now. We've got the Ace of Wands. We've got the 2 of Wands, and this is like a game show. Do you notice there? I don't know if you can see it on the card. Door number 1, door number 2. Which will you choose? The 3 of Wands, strategizing, planning. I think the 4 of Wands is really fascinating to me. I'm not going to read this one to you, but if you look at that image above, it looks like it's possibly a male in the bridal outfit, a female in the groom's outfit. It's hard for me to say, but it looks like there's some transitioning also going on here, and it mentions the term transition in there, and so I can't help wonder if this is a card for that. So it's very interesting to me. Real neat card, very neat card. The 5 of Wands. Sorry, blurring. The 6 of Wands. I'm going to switch sides for a little bit. Now, the Seven of Wands we want to take a little bit of a look at, I think. This is really fascinating to me. And I like the way they talk about it and put it in, you know, kind of a modern perspective as with the imagery on the card. It's very short. You stand as the last line of defense against all attacks. Shots will be fired at high speed, and you must be prepared to protect what is important to you. Do not be fooled by feints and fakes meant to get you out of position. When the time is right, step forward and face challenges that approach you. Great interpretation. Short and to the point. And then we have the interesting Eight of Wands here. Notice that what's really in that person's hand is a paper airplane. It looks like a javelin, though, right? I think that's very cool. Symbology there as well. Here is the Nine of Wands. The Ten of Wands. Hey, ants can carry their burdens. So can we. The Page of Wands. What a cool Page of Wands card. You know, we don't, oftentimes we think of it as a person, and it still is a person. It's also about starting an adventure. It's starting something new, and the exhilaration you feel, and the challenges that you have to face. You know, this young one, this page is just learning and struggling and challenging themselves to see what they're made of. I love it. I think it's great. Okay, and then we have the Knight of Wands. Got to have the black cat in. The Queen of Wands. And the King of Wands. Looks like he is motivating the masses. And here is the watery Ace of Cups. We're on the cup suit now. The Two of Cups, an interesting card as well. To me, I looked at it a little bit differently than the book, but it kind of harkens to the fact that whether it's kind of like the marriage, the thing they say in marriage vows, in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, we are together, in sunshine and light, and in the cold, barren times, we are together. The Three of Cups, well, that was some partying going on there. The Four of Cups, maybe trying to keep head above water. I like that. I also think it's coming up for air, maybe, every once in a while. Trying something new, getting out of your routine. The Five of Cups is interesting. The Six of Cups, let's have some fun. Let's have some good old-fashioned childlike fun. The Seven. The Eight. That's interesting too. I should have looked that one up or read it, but let's move on. Let's move on to this Nine of Cups. That's a real interesting one to me. I guess you're invited in, but also maybe this is saying that doors are opening for you now. Just some impressions I'm going to throw out there of the cards, whether they're matching the interpretation or not, and you're free to look at these images and let your mind take you where it's going to take you. The Ten of Wands. I'm sorry, Cups. The Page of Cups, floating with the fishies. The Knight of Cups. The Queen of Cups with her feet in the water. And the King of Cups. We're on the swords now. Ace of Swords. Love all the clouds. I like the Two of Swords. It's really interesting because the Two of Swords, of course, for those that know, is about, holding back, waiting to make a decision. And chess, you really have to think your strategy. You have to think your moves. You don't want to rush too fast and make the wrong move. And I like that. I like using that for this card, that metaphor. The Three of Cups. I'm sorry, the Three of Swords. Boy, long day. Four of Swords. I hope that's not a hangover you're recovering from, buddy. The Five of Swords. It looks kind of typical Five of Swords in a way. Although it does look like he's being chased, which I think in the Five of Swords generally is a card of defeat. And it may not quite give that same interpretation. I'll have to check on that. The Six of Swords, leaving on a jet plane. Let's read the Seven of Swords. I feel like it. The Seven of Swords. Let's take a look. And I went right to the page. How did that happen? I might have looked at it earlier. Do you do whatever it takes to get what you want? Don't let the joy of getting ahead blind you to the ethics of any given situation. A shortcut here and a handy little trick there is all well and good, but if you fear getting caught, it might be time to reconsider your methods, your choices, your actions. I like that. All right. The Eight of Swords. Well, you look pretty stuck. The Nine. Ooh, ouch. The Ten of Swords. The Page of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Looks kind of scary to me. The Queen of Swords, looking kind of solemn. Oh, I wanted to read the King of Swords, but I had read one already. But this is so fascinating to me. The person who leads has to lead from the heart. Otherwise, the heart starts to shrink, So it's something similar to that message, I think, and amazing card. Incorporating the upright and the reverse there. Let's go to the Pentacles now. It's the Ace of Pentacles. We're going to stop right here, though, and read the Two of Pentacles. I just love the idea that it's not two pentacles. It's one pentacle and a grenade. What? So I decided to look that one up for sure. And like a hand grenade? Really? There's good reason for that. Ah, there we go. You're working hard to keep your life in balance, juggling very different and demanding elements and giving each their moment. It can be an impressive act to watch, but if things get out of balance, it might all come crashing down, or worse, blow up in your face. So, yeah, I like that. And we got the Three of Pentacles. The Four. The Five. It's interesting they use the effects of war for the Five of Pentacles, but I get that. You go into war looking like this, you come out of war more sometimes looking like that. It takes a toll. It takes a toll, if not on you physically, on your soul. And of course, the Five of Pentacles traditionally is known as the dark night of the soul. The Six of Pentacles, the Seven, thinking about how to make it grow stronger and to its full potential. The Eight, the Nine, nice garden scene. And the Ten of Pentacles. The Page. The Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. The Queen of Pentacles. And finally, at the boardroom, the King of Pentacles. Now, I really like the melding of the traditional tarot imagery with and ideas with modern day images. It's done pretty nicely, and I think a lot of people who are looking for that flavor and maybe looking at a little bit more of the harsh realities of life we live, there's a tone here to this. It's not all negative or bad. It just looks like, you know, the gritty everyday world we face today. And so I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing, and if so, please leave me a like. I'd appreciate that. Maybe share it with others, and check out this wonderful deck. I definitely am going to be using this a considerable amount. I think it's going to fit in right well into my collection, so maybe you might consider it for yours. Okay, everybody, take care, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.